Our next stop is Pittsburgh. Rodgers is 41, soon enough to be 42, readying for his first year with the Steelers, a team that added a number of veterans in the offseason. One of them is Jalen Ramsey. He sat down with our Ryan Clark and the guys on the pivot, and RC asked him what he's seen from his new teammate. Listen to this.
What have you seen from Aaron Rodgers that made you just say he still got it?
Still got it. Oh, my goodness. And, well, first off, I'm just about to take away, like, his arm talent and his precision, his accuracy, and the no-look passes and all that. Forget about all that for the second. Can't forget about it, but for the second, forget about it. The confidence that he brings, that whole offense, like, everybody around him wants to be great, and it's kind of like nobody wants to let him down. Yeah. The best teams that I've been on, that's been like how the whole team is.
What do you think of that?
I think that's exactly, again, we've talked about on this show, why I say and said in the past, Pittsburgh needs Aaron. Aaron needs Pittsburgh, where he can just be the guy. Just play the game. You don't have to be the coach of your team in New York. You don't have to bring in players. You don't have to be a GM. Just focus on being the Hall of Famer that you are. Because everyone else wants to fall in line then, right? Regardless of what people say outside, of Pittsburgh's facility about him. And the fact, look, Jalen Ramsey, for anybody who knows him and the people who don't know him, he's someone who really doesn't mince words. He doesn't kind of really BS you too much. He's going to tell it to you exactly how he thinks it is, whether you like it or not. I take him at his word. And I love the fact that, as Mike Tannenbaum likes to say, it seems as though Aaron Rodgers has become, at this early stage, a force multiplier on that football team. He's made people say, hey, look, I need to pick it up a little bit. And I need to be a little bit better because this dude is showing some things here. That's exactly what you want.
Rodgers is one of those guys, and he'll be able to throw a football when he's 60. That's not going to be the issue. The issue is durability and things like that, athleticism when players start getting older. That will have to remain to be seen. But with DK Metcalf there, Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf, what could that offense look like with those two guys?
Nothing if the offensive line isn't great.
That's good.
Nothing.
Yeah.
4 to 5 offensive linemen entering year 2 or year 3. They're going to go, I get it, y'all. The quarterback position is the most important on the football field.
Yeah.
But this offense is only going to go as far as that offensive line allows them because of Arthur Smith, his system, and what he wants the run game to be and what comes off of the run game with the play action.
I also take it as August quote season. The guys at the pivot are doing a noble job interviewing everybody, and we're getting all these updates. Everyone's great. Everyone's awesome. When a young offensive lineman misses that first block and Rodgers gets hit from the blind side and does one of these to the team, how are we handling that? That's what I need to see. They are built to win now. They are invested in all these veterans to win now. Now Cam Hayward wants to get paid. They're going to likely have to at least listen to that and probably find a way to make that work too. They don't have the luxury of, let's give it a couple of months. Like, they have to be good right away. And I think that offensive line and the running game is a serious question.
But I think at the same time, look, you can juxtapose what Jalen is saying now and then juxtapose that with maybe how he felt when he was in Miami and then again how he felt when he was in L.A. and then how he felt when he was in Jacksonville. He knows when it ain't right, and he's also been to the mountaintop. So I think for him, again, I'm going to take him at his word. And I know it's early, and there's no adversity right now to face. There's no one-loss record to judge this football team by. But I would rather have a guy like him saying what he's saying right now than having him sitting there going, oh, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like maybe he has felt recently at his previous stop.
But you know what that tailored towards too? How your organization is structured, though, too.
Yeah.
And who you have as leaders. Because think about this. He played for Raheem Morris as a defensive coordinator, right? Who was Raheem Morris tied to? Mike Tomlin, who was the leader for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So Mike McDaniel, we're having conversations about, okay, is that leadership there where it needs to be, right, being a head coach?
Oh, yeah.
That's what a lot of people are questioning right now.
32 teams. We have the director's chair set up. We send everyone from our network, NFL Network, now Partners, sends everyone to their network. And everyone's great, and everything's good. Jalen Ramsey doesn't have to mince words, but he's never going to say, I don't know about Rodgers.
You know when we'll know? September 7th, first Sunday of the season, 1 o'clock kick.
At MetLife.
Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers at the Jets at MetLife.
Yeah,
they knew what they were doing when they scheduled that.
Yeah, I mean, no question. The only reason, Peter, why I say that, and it's not just to keep going back and forth with you, is that, look, optimism reigns supreme at this time of year. Yeah, that for sure. But we can pick out numerous different teams that right now the conversation isn't so optimistic.
You're right.
It's a lot more like, man, I don't know how we just finished doing it with Jacksonville.
No doubt.
If we were talking about the Colts, what do you think the conversation would be?
We could do a Dolphins conversation.
Exactly.
You're right.
So, I mean, that's why I'm saying I don't think it's all roses for everyone. I just love Jalen in terms of his like kind of unfiltered honesty when it comes to this.
Awful for a long time, but maybe looking up in both cases. Peter, you spent time with both teams the way their draft picks have looked this year.
Really, I don't like to do hyperbole. I don't like to do exaggeration. I don't do that. And he stands out like no other player on the field. They are so excited about him. So excited that yesterday we were talking to Dexter Lawrence afterwards, and even he was trying to temper expectations. He was dominating not only Max Mitchell, who's a formidable offensive lineman, but then was taking on Vera Tucker on the inside, and then was doing things on the other side. Abdul Carter's been sensational, which then leads to Jackson Dart, who hasn't been lighting up camp, but in the last week has made some major strides. And yesterday against the Jets defense was completing passes in the red zone, and just watching him on the sideline in an inter-camp scrimmage. Jackson Dart seems to have something about him, some of that it stuff. It might be early, but you made some key plays, you got him.
Steelers Nation, buckle up, because this one has all the ingredients for a late offseason splash that could shake up the AFC. The Pittsburgh Steelers have been aggressive all year, adding DK Metcalf, bringing in Jalen Ramsey, locking down TJ Watt, and making the blockbuster move for Aaron Rodgers. But now, according to Odell Beckham Jr., Pittsburgh could be about to pull one more surprise move out of their hat. On the Club Random podcast with Bill Maher, Beckham openly admitted that he and Rodgers have been talking about the idea of joining forces in the Steel City. His exact words, "I love him and we've had conversations. I won't say that it's not a possibility, and I won't say that I haven't had any communication." Now, think about it. Rodgers and Beckham have had mutual admiration for years. Back in 2021, when Beckham was released by the Cleveland Browns, Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers were immediately considered frontrunners to sign him. But instead of Lambeau Field, Beckham chose Los Angeles, joining the Rams and helping them win Super Bowl LVI. Fast forward to 2023, Rodgers' first year with the Jets. Once again, the rumors swirled. Once again, fans thought we'd see Rodgers and Beckham together. And once again, OBJ went in another direction, signing with the Baltimore Ravens. He had a decent impact there, but Baltimore moved on after just one season, and Beckham signed with the Dolphins in 2024. Now, here's where the story gets interesting. Beckham's 2024 numbers in Miami were almost non-existent, just 9 catches for 55 yards and no touchdowns. On paper, that doesn't exactly scream game changer. But let's be honest, Miami never really featured him. At 32 years old, OBJ isn't the same athlete he was in New York, where he exploded onto the scene with over 5,400 yards and 44 touchdowns in just 59 games. Still, when healthy and motivated, he can make big plays in key moments. And Rodgers knows it. From the Steelers' perspective, there are two sides to this. On one hand, OBJ would be a low-cost, low-risk signing. The team already has DK Metcalf as its primary weapon, plus emerging names like Calvin Austin III, Roman Wilson, and undrafted standout Rock Taylor fighting for reps. Adding Beckham could give Pittsburgh a veteran presence with big game experience, someone who knows how to perform under playoff lights. On the other hand, this could raise questions about roster spots. The Steelers' wide receiver room is already crowded, and giving OBJ meaningful snaps would mean less time for younger guys to develop. But let's not kid ourselves. This move wouldn't just be about depth. It would be about Rodgers having his guy. Every great quarterback wants that one receiver they trust completely in crunch time. Rodgers had Devontae Adams in Green Bay, and OBJ, even at this stage of his career, could fill a similar security blanket role. Short yardage slants, third down conversions, red zone fades. That's where OBJ could shine in Pittsburgh's offense. This would also be a statement signing. Think about the message it would send to the AFC North. We're not just loading up for a playoff run, we're going for it all. And in a division that already features Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and Deshaun Watson, every small edge matters. Financially, this could work too. OBJ's market value has dropped significantly since his peak years, meaning Omar Khan could structure a short-term, incentive-heavy deal that rewards Beckham for production without locking the Steelers into a big cap hit. Of course, there is the health question. OBJ's injury history is well documented, and he hasn't played a full 16 or 17-game season since 2016. That means Pittsburgh would have to be strategic, maybe using him in specific packages rather than expecting him to be a wide receiver 2 playing 70 snaps a game. But here's what makes this fascinating. Rodgers is clearly advocating for it. And when your brand new franchise quarterback, a future Hall of Famer, says he wants a guy in the building, you have to at least explore it. We've seen the story in the NFL before. Tom Brady brought in Antonio Brown. Matthew Stafford reunited with Odell in LA. Elite quarterbacks want elite targets, and they usually get them. For Steelers fans, this could be one of those why not moments. The team has already gone all in this offseason. They've pushed their chips to the center of the table. Rodgers is here for a short window, maybe just 1 year. If adding Beckham gives Pittsburgh even a slightly better chance at making a deep playoff run, it's worth the gamble. And let's be real, Steelers Nation would love the drama and star power. DK Metcalf on one side, OBJ on the other, Pat Freiermuth and Darnell Washington at tight end, Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren in the backfield. That's a nightmare for defensive coordinators. So the question isn't whether OBJ is still a top 5 receiver. He's not. The question is whether he can still make impact plays when it matters. And if Rodgers believes the answer is yes, Pittsburgh just might take that leap. Steelers Nation, what do you think? Should Omar Khan make the call and bring OBJ to the Steel City for one last ride with Aaron Rodgers? Or is this just a flashy move that could block young talent from emerging? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you're excited about the possibility, and subscribe to Steelers Nation Wire so you don't miss a single update as this story develops. Because if OBJ actually signs here, the Steelers' 2025 season just got a whole lot more interesting.